right. Well, we are trying something totally different. This is my first attempt of going live. And what are we working on? Well, this is a total test to see how this works, everyone. Waiting for a guest. All right. Orientation is locked. Don't know how this is coming out. This is my first attempt of going live, everyone. As you all know, um, I do the best I can. All right. So we have no guests. Frank Press gave me this thing. It's several different pieces, and this is going to be for our Battle of the Bulge game. We're going to run several Battle of the Bulge games and do a video with the Maryland Veterans Museum. So we need some buildings. So this was sent to me in pieces, and what we're going to do is we're simply going to get the cardboard that I glued it on. I have several projects here on the table. I ran the big Zulu game, the Prince Imperial, and I don't know, hopefully somebody liked it. Um, let's see. All right, so we have that cut down. Now, the last thing I'll be doing is flocking the gray material. The floor here will be flocked. I'm going to do a mix of a brown and also, since it's Battle of the Bulge, we have to hit it with some snow. All right, so we'll get out our brown paint. We have no guess. By the way, this experiment is interesting. My wife Lisa has been watching um, people going to yard sales and buying things, and they're doing it live sometimes. So she said, "Why don't you try making a live video?" And I said, "I don't know if anyone would watch." So right now we're going to hit the wood on this building with our paint, and I'm just going to babble. So my YouTube channel, we got $103 or so going to the Veterans Museum. I didn't have a really any big videos this month that streamed a lot. Um, didn't have a Mr. John Gettysburg Miniature Shop one. Sometimes they hit in the 30s or 40,000 views, and it's just the way it is. Um, so there, we gave that a little bit of brown, and we're just going to hit a few of these pieces here and there. And now, the whole idea of this Battle of the Bulge game, I'm not going over the top on making these pieces look museum diorama level. As you know, I just get stuff good enough to get on the battlefield in the basement. And of course, if you're not aware, my wife's not feeling the best. So we not doing anything with the chuckleheads, and no war game convention. I had to cancel the Alamo. So just the way family comes before wargaming. And so now I get messages from a lot of war gamers, and I try my very best to respond to a lot of them. By the way, this thing is actually heavy. It's actually got some weight to it. I don't know if I glued it on a strong enough piece of cardboard, to be honest. But there we are. We got this front piece to do. And we are still live according to this. This is my first attempt at a live video. No idea what I'm doing. Hopefully there's the few of you that might see this later will at least laugh. But for all things considered, it's interesting how our world now is interlocked with communications of YouTube and Facebook and TikTok and everything else that people can communicate instantly. So I ran across a wonderful channel called British Redcoat, and has some great videos on it. And the Redcoat Soldier, I think it is. I'll have to look it up. Oh my gosh. So have you ever heard of not being able to chew gum and walk at the same time? That's how I'm feeling about painting this and trying this new live stream. So I've thrown enough brown paint on this. So there we are. The next thing we'll do is we're going to hit that with a wash. Okay. Now, speaking of washes, I reach over here. We got one of my many tubs of wash. This one's 50% black, 50% water. Okay. And one of the many viewers asked me, saw that I got the knights and play sets, and I told him I really wasn't going to do anything with these knights. All right, I haven't flocked them yet, but he suggested I throw a black wash on them. So to the fellow with the, and I apologize for not remembering his name, but there we go. So we have a half a dozen knights here, and we're just dipping them in and see what happens. Now I have a whole 54 millimeter Agincourt army. These are marks in a different poses. So we're trying this out. And black wash, really, if you're a poor painter or have eyesight issues and all you can do is a little odds and ends, black wash can really make a figure stand out. And And I'm using a pair of pliers to dip them in. Wow, 54 millimeter wargaming. You'd be amazed of how many people run across one of my channels and say they didn't even know people used 54 millimeter figures. Howard Whitehouse, he does quite a bit with a Gentleman's War and also in 40 millimeter, I think it is. And then John Michael Priest, Ron Perlman, the Pretzel King. And Ron Perlman is pretty interesting. He was also in the Gettysburg movie. He did a lot with the horses. He was there the entire time. He's in the credits. And once my wife is feeling better, I'm going to go down to Virginia where he lives, play a couple games, and get an interview of him and his adventures while working on the Gettysburg movie. Now, I got all the knights done. What do you think of that? Okay. Now, that black wash is pretty nifty because it will dry, and all I have to do now is I'm going to flock these in I guess I'll flock them in green. The bases will be a green base. Probably fighting out in a field somewhere. All right. So, wow. Now, let's bring this thing forward. It's already, get rid of a little bit more of this cardboard. Curve that a little bit. All right. Now, my whole world here is not to spend a ton of time getting things on the table. The Gettysburg area gamers, for 20 years, we were doing a different game literally every week. So there's only a few of us running the group at the time, and we did our best to, we had around 15 people on average per Thursday night, but only a couple of us ran games. Josh, Jim Shaw. So we had to make the games quick. Now, I am hitting this with my black wash, and it is going to become, the idea is, and it's heavy. This thing is heavy. And I'm not re-dipping my brush in. We're just giving this as you can see, it's coming along. And I want a smoky look, a really smoky look, because this thing has been on fire and wrecked. And so we're what do you think of that? So now when this all dries, it will be pretty cool. That are so it's coming along. So that's the whole gist with that. Now, I have absolutely no one watching live, which is fine because this is my first time even trying this. And so I had someone want me to run Star Trek games again, but I don't know. They I ran a half a dozen Star Trek games, and it didn't seem like people were very interested. But if I get some messages to run Star Trek again, I will. That the month of November, we're going to get all the World War II stuff together, get these buildings built. So, and not everything's going to be Bastogne, by the way. I know someone asked me that already. So, um, and you know, how much detail do you do on your games? I mean, let's face it, there are some war gamers out there that are building practically museum diorama tables, and I mean, just incredible workmanship. Um, One of the things I always was frustrated about was when you built something that nice, which we did build a few things. Um, Jack Brendel, for instance, in Arizona, when he was in our group, he would make some of the most incredible terrain, but we'd only use it, a couple times a year. Is San Luana and his tractor factories. They were both phenomenal pieces of terrain that he built, but I think we only used his San Luana a couple times total. So, what do you think? Um, Looking better? Um, so this is a Frank Prez gave this to me, by the way. I think I mentioned that. Now, Jack Brendel sent me a ton of things I could use for the Battle of the Bulge, of from a well, and but right now I think this thing is looking pretty good. Once we flock it, I think. What do you think? You know, and this has taken me. We've been live now for 18 minutes, everyone, and of course we have no one watching. But life is short, and so there. And then our nights are the nights are coming along. There they are. Well, I have all my board games out with Blue Panther now, and Goober the Traveling Bear calendar. I'm hoping to sell at least at least 100 calendars, and that will raise several $100 at least for the Braddock Road Preservation or Braddock Battlefield History Center. So now I think we'll get out the rest of the stuff that Jack sent me. Let's clean up a little area here, and I'm going to lay it out on the table, and we'll move the rest of the Mark's playset stuff out of the way. And again, this is my first attempt at a live video. No idea if anyone, according to my right now, we are at 19 minutes. All right, bringing out the stuff from Jack here. And we have a well, quite a few neat things. Hopefully, you'll find them interesting as we put them together and paint them for our first live video test. I'm going to go 30 minutes on this and see what happens. All right. So, all right. Well, that was bizarre. I was gone for more than a couple minutes. I don't even know if anyone will be. Anyhow, here we are. We have our box of stuff from Jack. Let's lay this stuff out and let's get working on it. Okay. Now, one of the things I want to get out right off the bat is this well. Look at that. So, we're going to get this well put together, and we're going to need a little bit with the X-Acto knife. Now, the sandbags, I'm going to run sandbags along our building here. So, now I'm not going to place these till I'm done flocking, but I'm going to run a sandbag line from this wall to that wall. So we'll need to get all these sandbags off the trees. Now, for going live, we are at 26 minutes, and this was purely an experiment. I have no idea how this is going to come out, but you know, you don't know until you try. Um, the Wow. So I got a church window here, and could have that could have worked there, but I'm going to continue with my sandbags and use this on another piece of stuff I have. I have some other old Mark stuff and all. All right. Well, I'm going to start snipping off the sandbags and doing that, put this well together, and I'm going to see what this live video is like. And so, like always, stay safe, be kind, be courteous, and thank you for watching. No idea if how this is coming out.